I'm still going strong with my kind of love, hate, not hate, but love, like doubt relationship with Gibson. So on one end, they announced that they're going to return to the amp market with these Falcon amps that are obviously done by Mesa Boogie since they acquired Mesa Boogie. And I think that's really cool. I think these things, they look really cool. And if Mesa Boogie does them, they probably are solid. And I'm looking forward to see how they sound. Not so sure if what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think they look really cool. I haven't heard them yet. I've just seen some photos, and I did actually record an album in Canada once, and I ended up using a Gibson amp mostly for that record. And that sounded awesome. I've no idea if that's anything close to those new ones, but I think they look really cool, and like my experience with Gibson amps, it's pretty solid actually. I've tried a few, so I would be interested in trying those actually.
I have a 1965 Gibson GA15 RVT. It's called the Gibson Explorer. I bought this thing for like $450. Canadian, so it's worth even less here in Europe.
Yeah, cool.
But this amp is more like, a lot of people were saying online that it was more like a Vox AC15, but as far as I'm concerned, it's more like a Princeton. It doesn't have a whole lot of volume, but when you crank it up, if you have like a really nice high output humbuckers, it gets like that really sweet Fender-ish type of Fender Princeton kind of tone. And a lot of people dog this particular model. So when it comes to Gibson, there's some of them that are really expensive, and some of them are really sought out by people. But then you got the others that are kind of like the ugly dog or ugly duckling from the line. So I think that they might be positioning themselves to come up with like the fan favorites first, and maybe then come out with other ones that they think is worth reviving. But since it's done by Mesa, which is a company I also really enjoy, like I really love their amps, I'm just wondering if it's going to be like a hybrid of what Mesa does with just like the aesthetic of a Gibson, or if they're really going to go for what the original circuit was. So I'm expecting like people to bitch about that eventually, just because, if they are not authentic to like the old circuits, people are going to be like, I have an original one. It sounds like 10,000 times better than these new reissue ones. So I'm kind of curious about people's reaction once they get to compare the old ones and the new ones.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. What I think is nice though, I think the pricing is pretty okay for that kind of amp. So they're apparently they're priced $14.99 for the 5 or for the 10 watt. No, sorry, 12 watt. And then the 20 watt is $17.99. Considering that, these are like faithful recreations, and that at least that's what the news article says, and they're made in the US. I think that's pretty decent.